Why do other people matter when it comes to faith?
Is that the question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why do other people matter when it comes to faith? So
Why do other people matter
why do other people matter?
when it comes to faith?
Do they matter? Of course. Yeah. So why do other people matter when it comes to faith? I kind of see it like as a cycle, a little bit like a dynamic. Like people have drawn me to faith, and then faith has also drawn me to people. Meaning, I entrust my life to Jesus, faith, because of what people have done in the past. So like I think of my wife, Ashley, who before I was a Christian, before we were together, she was praying for me that I would come to Jesus. I think of my best friend, Donovan, doing that as well. I think of my parents, they came to faith when I was in middle school, right? So people have drawn me towards faith in Jesus, and they have modeled for me, this is what it looks like to follow him, to entrust your mind, your body, your soul, everything to him.
Yeah.
And then in turn, as I've given my life to Christ, I can't help but have my faith in him redirect me back towards people, right? So James says it very bluntly, like faith without works is dead. Works in relation to people, right? And so there is something about the Christian faith that draws us back towards individuals in the same way that individuals have kind of drawn us towards faith in Jesus. And so the primary way that I think about how I'm following Jesus today is by how I'm relating to people. How close am I to them? Am I aware of their needs? Am I attentive to what God's doing in their life? Do I create a rhythm of life in which I'm open to them? We spend time together, we gather, whatever it might look like, right? Like how am I modeling my life with God in relation to people is critical, you know. So
Right.
that's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah. That's good. I don't know how to follow that up.
How about for you? Like, you want to?
Yeah, I didn't know where to take that. No, I think.
Who was influential in bringing you to faith?
I mean, there's two sides of it. There's, growing up in the church where it was kind of a family practice, but my parents and my grandparents were a very important role in answering questions and helping me process through faith. And then when I was at Cal Baptist, after not being a church for a number of years and trying to figure out my own path, my resident advisor, just kind of meeting with me, he hit me up. I remember I was shooting hoops by myself because I'm an introvert, so I love my quiet time by myself. And he walked into the court.
Trying to work on your jump shot.
Yeah. My broken jump shot needed to be fixed. And he walked into the court, and I saw him, and I was like, oh, great, here we go, dude. I already knew what was coming. And so it was fine, we're just shooting around. But that moment was the first time that he asked me about my faith, and I deflected super bad. I was like, nope, not getting into that. But through his persistence of just building a friendship with me first kind of led to deeper faith conversations. And it's ultimately because of him why I'm at church now. So I think interacting and meeting with other people kind of brings that connection that everyone's looking for. You know, we're 3 years past COVID and we're still talking about the issues that come from being isolated for so long. And so even if you're someone like me that's an introvert that gets my energy from being by myself and being quiet, being around other people just encourages you, for one, and two, helps uplift you in that faith of being able to ask questions and navigate through some of the things that we wrestle with.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love that idea of being around other people. It makes me think of a phrase from I think it was a church father that said to see God is to see God in someone else's face, right? And so I think there's something profound in that thought about what it means to be in relation with people. I mean, after all, if we follow Jesus, who by nature is a relational God, relational person, the good news is that God came to us in a person, right? So we then model that in our own kind of movement towards people. And so I think what you just touched on too is kind of the great challenge we find ourselves in this current moment is life is allowing us to be so individualistic that we start to convince ourselves that we don't need to be with people for us to practice our faith, right? In fact, I think some parts of culture would even tell us, you can believe whatever you want, just keep that to yourself. And that in itself is a religious idea,
right?
But if we're hearing Jesus' words clearly about, in the same way that the Father has sent me, so am I sending you, then that means by nature we're going to become people who demonstrate our love for Jesus, our love for God in the way that we love people and spend time with them. So
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is really just the challenge we face in 2023 is we have so many options. We're so busy that it's hard to carve out time for other people. And oftentimes when we talk about loving people, it seems like a little bit of like, oh, it has to be this really quick evangelical moment of we're sharing the gospel and now they're following Lord and now they're, loving people.
Yeah.
When the reality is like loving people takes work, it takes time, it takes sacrifice. For us to have the loving friendship that we have, it took years of meeting consistently and getting to know each other, and me getting to know your family and you getting to know my family, and the blessings and struggles that come with both of those.
A lot of struggles.
A lot
of
struggles, a lot of blessings.
To know the Vanderbilt.
A lot of struggles too. But there's that truth in like loving people is, ideally it sounds very easy, but it takes a lot of work. And I think that's what Jesus is inviting us to is, as you learn how to love people, you're learning how to love God deeper, because it's a process that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
Like every day we're choosing to love these other people that are in our lives the same way
that phrase,
that we're choosing to love
Yeah.
love God in that. So
that's good, man. So good.